Hi, and welcome to North of 48. It's the 19th of April. Just looking at the calendar. It's um, it's not north of 48 today. It's north of 63. I'm up in the Yukon, and the weather's great. I mean, the oxygen. Whoops, sorry. I have a. There we go. Sorry, I had a replay in my ear from the YouTube. So shut that down. I hope you're doing well. Some of the stories we're dealing with tonight is, of course, the Iran-Israel controversy. There's one I want to share with you is just a totally bad story. Murder on Zoom. Mom, 35, is shot to death by her husband during a work call before he killed himself, leaving their 9-year-old son an orphan. This is in California, and she's 35, Ashley Bird, and found by police deputies. So her husband is the main suspect in the case. So Zoom, what can you do, right? It's just a bad thing. Speaker Johnson, his Ukrainian package is finally on its way to be clear the hurdle with Democratic help and have a proposal that includes money for Israel, money for Taiwan, and money for Ukraine. And our other story is pretty good. NASA warns China may try to take over the moon. So I can see a big tax coming up in America to buy some spaceships and get back out there. The H5N1 strain of bird flu found in milk, which is, I mean, it's in very high concentrations in raw milk from infected animals, though how long the virus can survive in milk is unknown. And you know, with children, milk is paramount. Bird to cow, and cow to bird transmission have also been registered during these recent outbreaks, which suggests that this virus may have found other routes of transition than we previously understood.
I blame Jimmy Dore.
I do too. Um, Jim, Earl and Martha Previte are in the house today, so we're probably going to talk about this. I just want to share you this from the Associated Press. This report on Israel and Iran.
Iran has fired air defense systems in the central part of the country in what appears to be some kind of Israeli response to that earlier attack by Tehran a few days ago. Now, what we know is still pretty scattered. As of this morning, Iran stopped flights, air defense systems were going off. People heard the sound of explosions near Isfahan. That's home to a major air base where Iran has the F-14 Tomcats that were bought before the 1979 Islamic Revolution. It's also home to a major nuclear facility as well. Now, Iran is not calling this an attack. They're downplaying it. They're trying to make jokes about it on state television today, but it comes after Tehran launched an attack that saw hundreds of drones and missiles launched at Israel. That followed another Israeli attack in Syria that killed members of Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard. Analysts say that this may be an attempt by Iran to try to step away, to try not to escalate the situation. That attack on Israel by Iran was unprecedented, and this attack today does not seem to have caused any serious damage as far as we can tell, but it does show that potentially Israel is capable of launching drones into Iran, and it also comes as today marks the 85th birthday of Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So analysts say this could be a warning to Iran that Israel still remains capable of launching future attacks. Iran has fired air defense systems in the
Well, happy birthday, Ayatollah. we'll get into that in a little bit. There's actually quite a bit to this story. I have one story that we're going to talk a little bit about is conspiracy theorist from Florida sets himself on fire outside Trump hush money trial in New York City. Just a dreadful thing. He's on fire. And actually, what I'd like to do is Forrest here. Forrest?
Yeah, Walter. Hey.
Hey, Forrest. I understand that you've been following this story. Can you maybe give us an update on it, if you don't mind?
I haven't really been following that story, but it is a little related to a story I have been following.
Okay.
All right, I got something for you here. So
Right on.
Trump's courtroom antics have sparked a gasp-inducing saga with more twists than an intestinal torsion. While Maggie Haberman caught wind of Trump's penchant for courtroom catnaps, the Midas Touch team dug deeper, unveiling a smellier truth. Trump allegedly turns the courtroom into a veritable gas chamber whenever he nods off. Witnesses described the scene as a cacophony of toots and snores, with Trump's legal team struggling to keep a straight face. One lawyer was even seen desperately waving legal briefs to dissipate the odious cloud, prompting an observer to remark, "Was that Trump or a ruptured pipeline?" The courtroom air became so pungent that even the judge reflexively issued a gag order. As the rank disturbance was erupting within the courtroom, a local leafleteer suddenly burst into flames, sending shockwaves through the crowd. While the cause remains a mystery, whispers around that Trump's flatulence may have ignited more than just controversy. But Trump remains unfazed by the fiery chaos, deflecting accusations with his signature bravado. It's all a bunch of hot air from the deep state, he cracked. "They're trying to gaslight me, but I won't let them." In the end, amidst the chaos and commotion, one thing remains clear. Trump's courtroom antics may be a passing gasp, but they're leaving a lasting odor that even Febreze can't mask.
Wow.
I want to thank you for that, Forrest. Excellent.
Right.
Thank you.
And
I'm,
where are
reporting
you
live
reporting from?
This is Forrest Colin reporting live from Mar-a-Lago.
Thank you very much, Forrest.
Old man smell.
Old man smell? Is that what you said?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. Oh well, I think we better get you on. So let's bring on Jim.
Hey,
Sorry. Hey Jim, how are you?
thanks for letting me follow the old man passing gas in a courtroom
No.
story.
That's right.
Speaking of old man smell, Jim Earl.
Oh, Jesus.
Aw.
I don't have old man smells.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
dear.
welcome to the program. It's been a couple of weeks since we had you on, so I really missed you guys, especially Martha. She's so witty and clever, and then there's Jim,
Oh,
I
Thank
smell
you.
like a young baby.
a young baby. Well,
Mhm.
that's pretty cool. Hey, I just want to take a minute and talk. Oh, that guy who lit himself on fire. Apparently, it was an accident. Forrest, is that right? Would you happen to know that?
Oh no,
Anything
he definitely lit himself on fire on purpose.
on purpose? Do we
yeah.
know why?
It was just a bunch of conspiracy stuff. Like he posted a video a few weeks ago about how Peter Thiel started a bank run and that Trump and Hillary are working together. It's just crazy stuff. He really just wanted to start a revolution, it seems.
Wow.
Hmm. Well, I'm not
And
going to
actually,
follow him into that revolution.
well, yeah. And we have okay, right here. This is off from Talia Jane, a big link claiming to be from the person who set himself on fire outside the Trump. It's unverified, but he wrote something about, "I have set myself on fire outside the Trump trial. My name is Max Azzarillo, an investigative researcher who has set himself on fire outside of the Trump trial in Manhattan." He has an Instagram page, and when you go through it, he has a whole bunch of blogs on conspiracy theories. And don't we all, right? We all have that. So just saying.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been up to?
Well, I was going to set myself on fire, but as seeing as the way you guys are covering this story, I just going to give that a dream up. Thanks a lot.
What do you think about this Israel-Iran? So a couple of things about it is Israel's latest strike, apparently, because everybody thought it was going to be World War III. Apparently it's not. Iran's been saying no harm happened. And Israel took out some satellite units in Syria to prove that they could get into Iran airspace. And then they used what they're called Sparrows, or dummy missiles that the jets use to shoot down. They're a practice tactic for the Israeli Air Force, and that's what they shot that into Iran. There's more news coming out. Apparently, they had a field marked out, and the bombs were supposed to land there. However, I heard something about a nuclear laboratory. One of the bombs or missiles might have went into there. Do you think it's World War III, Jim? Or are you okay? Are you going to buy a lotto next week because the world will still be here?
I think Netanyahu would like it to be World War III. This is what he wants. He wants to get us embroiled in a regional conflict, and we are. They're using our weapons, and this is his dream. This is just a practice run, and if he could, he would go to a full-out war with Iran with our backing.
Wow.
And
There we go.
Iran has, it's kind of like Palestine. Half the population is young people, and young people in Iran really are nice people. They like
are nice people. Yeah.
They like America, and they think everybody is insane.
Well, I've seen a couple of arguments, primarily from a right winger who was saying that Iran, the people in Iran, want to be bombed to overthrow the Ayatollah. It's my view that no, they don't want to be bombed.
No, they don't.
They don't. No, and Iran's been doing a lot of crappy things to their people too, putting women into prison for not wearing a hijab. But Israel is doing some crappy things as well, putting their soldiers in danger, their young people as well. So I don't know what the solution is, but I don't think we're at the tipping point or the precipice.
Well, the solution is to stop inflicting apartheid on the most crowded, gated community on Earth.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
At this point, not just inflicting apartheid, but genocide. Let's just stop doing the genocide part. Can we do that?
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
That's a bathroom cleaner, ain't it? Genocide?
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, it's low oxygen where I am, so I'm high up. Actually, I'm 2 hours from Alaska, and I'm an hour away from where there's no more trees. So
Can you see Sarah Palin?
No. They don't let her come out on her porch anymore. They just keep her in and keep her handcuffed to the wheelchair, probably. The Israel thing, I mean, this is, you got to blame the Poles. Polish people did this.
Well, Netanyahu is Polish.
Well, it was the Polish army trained the guys prior to the formation of Israel to go in and take the land, right? They trained in Poland and the Polish Jews. And if you look through the history, that's how it happened. I know Britain and US were kind of involved, well, for sure. But they were trained in Poland, and they went into Israel and took all those homes. what was it? 400,000 Palestinian homes were stolen, and that were in their families for centuries.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
so I
So
agree.
I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think a country should, based on religion, theocracy, has much of a standing
right.
of for credibility in this world, and
Well,
we shouldn't be supporting it and supporting its cruelty. That's for sure.
right. Do you think it's religion is the downfall of mankind, maybe in a lot of respects? I know in Iran there's a lot of secular population now, apparently, even though they still have to go to the mosques and stuff and do their duty or else they're going to get whipped, right? So,
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't believe all those stories.
I would, I
You
would,
got
well, they've been whipping people for not wearing a hijab, so
well,
Mm.
sorry,
yeah.
Police do.
hijab.
The cops have been arresting kids for protesting. They're and for exercising their civil rights outside of colleges here.
Mhm.
Right. Well,
And
my point,
so
That's the
we-
Columbia University.
yeah, we've been kidnapping and torturing people and putting them to death in our prisons. We have the largest prison population on earth, relatively speaking.
yeah, yeah, that's true. You do. Good work, America.
And as Martin Luther King pointed out 50 years ago or so, that the U.S. government is the biggest source of violence in the world, and it's done nothing but exponentially get larger,
Mm.
get worse since then.
Well,
So,
private prisons got to make a profit, Jim. I mean, what are you going to do without private prisons? Be free?
well, not
No, my point was, I think the extremism in Iran is not so much different from the extremism in Israel, with the Orthodox rabbis and stuff like. Uh, uh, it's almost like they're fascist, the government,
yeah, it
in
is.
Israel, right?
It's
And
an ultra right wing government, and
right.
it's Netanyahu is the Donald Trump of the Mideast.
Mm.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Mm.
Well, I don't know. Does he break wind?
I'm sure he does. Oh, that tabbouleh, a lot of tabbouleh.
Yeah.
More like net and PU. Oh,
Yeah, I like that joke. That's
This is pretty good. Write that down, Jim.
Don't encourage him.
That was a great joke.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the extremism, the ultra orthodox, the ultra Islamists, everything's to the book. The book, I mean, holy as it is, was written by humans. So I think there's some fallacy in the book, right? In the words.
in the Bible, yeah.
Well, the Quran and whoa, fuck, I might get killed here. The Quran probably has some words in it that aren't true, as well as the Torah. They're coming from a human perspective, right?
Of course, they're all works of fiction written by a series of cult leaders,
Right.
narcissists, and emotionally disturbed cult leaders over a period of hundreds of years. Yeah.
So the question I
hey,
want to
some of
ask
them were on mushrooms too.
Okay, they're all right. The guys who really expanded their minds with mushrooms and ergot, they're okay in my book. But the rest,
ergot, yeah, that's a pretty good reference, which means mold on the wheat or rye. So
that's right.
yeah,
Saint Vitus stance.
So in defense of everything, Jim, I'd like to know where God touched you. Can you show us? Do you need a bear?
My pocketbook, for one thing.
Oh,
And,
you're a Scientologist, you say? Oh, I'm really going to get slammed hard by the YouTube people. Jeez. We'll look at Tom Cruise.
Well, you can't say anything about Scientology on YouTube. You're going to get X.
I'm sure they got people, right?
Yeah, well, you're too small for them to care about.
I am. I'm a very small guy. And I'm smaller now that I lost some weight. So,
Martha was brought up a good Catholic girl.
well,
Amen.
okay. I know lots of Catholics, so I know lots of Christians, and some other, the guy before Ramadan, a guy I worked with would borrow smokes during Ramadan. He would quit. After Ramadan, he would come up to me and, hey, do you got a cigarette? Yeah. So each to his own religion, I suppose. But I've got some friends who are actually part of the indigenous, as, oh, geez, I can't remember the word, as spiritual elders. And after the residential schools and stuff, they come in really empathic. And I've talked to a few elders, and I think they have a good grasp on spiritual teaching in some respect, right? And so I actually hope to have an elder on in a couple of weeks. So people, if you're not subscribed to North of 48, you should. You should subscribe and give us a thumbs, and leave a comment saying about how Jim's hair is nice and colorful compared to other people his age.
Oh,
What?
hair.
So the weather out in Maine, how is it?
it's very
It's a little-
spiritual.
yeah, it's cool. It's comfortable. We haven't had
Comfortable.
too much rain this week. A little bit of sun.
Do you guys tend to get
not
a lot
too
of rain?
warm.
A lot of rain in the spring?
We do. March is windy. April showers. May brings the flowers.
Okay. That's all true in Maine, eh?
Yeah.
June brings the sexually transmitted diseases.
H1N1.
July brings the doctor's appointments. August brings
Stay
the
away from the
bills.
chickens. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, young love.
So Martha, I'm to understand you've done some artwork. Is Jim going to bring
have.
it up, or are
I'll
you?
bring it up. I can share
Will
it.
you?
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
share it? How do I do? Let me see if I figured out how to do this, because I have it on my desktop.
I have it on
Yeah.
my desktop too. I'll do it. You talk about it.
Yeah, talk about it.
Okay.
It's nothing to talk about yet, Jim. Come on.
Just a second. Just hold
Jim,
your
there's
keep your
nothing to
pants
talk
on.
about.
Keep your pants on. I have to allow my system to
Jim,
let's see.
you're dealing with a podcast that has probably one of the lowest production values ever,
Just
and I'm starting to get irritated that I don't see it.
Oh,
here we go. I got it right here.
Okay,
Now can you see that?
not at all.
no.
Oh, wait, hold it.
I
Right.
see Martha.
There we go.
Hey, look at you.
There it is.
Oh, wow. That is just awesome.
That's Henry Kissinger.
It is. Hey, he's dead.
He
Oh,
sure is.
Jesus.
Nobody thought he would ever die, but he did, eh? And look at this. You've got East Timor, the killing fields, Condor, Operation Condor, Vietnam, Laos. Wow. What inspired you to paint or to put this together, this collage, Martha?
Well, Wally,
Yes,
Jim
Liz.
wrote a fabulous obituary of Sir Kissinger,
Mm,
and that appears in his book Morning Remembrance.
okay.
And on his Jim has a Substack where he'll publish just about every week a new obituary.
Where do you find the Substack?
On Substack
Substack, you
What's-
moron.
Your
Where do you
girl.
think you'd find it?
What's the name of your Substack?
Oh, is it under Jim Earl or Morning Remembrance?
Jim Earl would probably be a search.
Earl.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jim,
Search
you
it,
don't
too.
know?
Well, I know, but I haven't gotten my domain up there yet. It doesn't,
okay.
it's kind of complicated. I don't have
Well,
a secretary to do all these things for me like you
No,
do.
no. He
yeah.
only has a personal artist, chef, gardener, housekeeper,
Yeah.
But you're
cook.
not much with computers.
What?
Is that what he's saying?
I guess not.
That's right.
You're an IT person.
There's
I think
always
that
time.
so that's what inspired you to put this together. But all these
Yes.
things that describe Kissinger, what did you do? You just sit there and think about what he all did, and like what's your process doing something like? Oh, sorry, you're American. What's your process in doing this?
Well, my process is first I created the portrait of him using all magazine papers, and they're all different. The colors that you find in a face are all cut out from different pages of different magazines, and
Hmm.
the words all came from different magazines as well. I have a big stash of magazines.
They're
in
not
my,
printing magazines anymore, I think, right? So you got,
Really?
well, I don't seem to see any.
Well,
But
there are at our public library, and they throw them away. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's amazing. What a resource for someone like me to just go pick up. I got a huge supply of them now, and I'll never run out.
Awesome.
I have a lot of old National Geographic, Life magazines, Time magazines, and
Sports Illustrated.
Martha Stewart Living.
Oh,
Those
Martha
are
Stewart
great.
Living.
I really love those those are wonderful, wonderful magazines. Of course, those are my favorite.
Right.
Those are the best. And yeah, so it's a lot of flipping through magazines searching for things.
Mhm.
But
I do know. I used to know. Now I don't. Now it's iPad. So how I read my
You
books.
see, I'm writing new obituaries. This is not in the book that was published, but it will be in the new book.
Okay.
I'm trying to get Martha to do a lot of collages for my new obituaries, so I can have them published and hopefully get her
first
to do
he'll
a
have to
lot
he'll have
more.
to pay me first, which hasn't happened. But you could always go onto my Patreon and support my art, and Jim's writing there.
Oh, okay. And where do we find your Patreon?
At Patreon/Martha Previte.
Oh, see, you had a title and everything. I could find that easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're such a snob.
Finding
You're
Jim's
such a snob.
Substack is
I
what's the
can't
name,
believe
Jim?
how
What's
do
the name of your Substack, Jim?
no wonder
It's a-
you're
Oh, I don't
all
know. It
no
could be
wonder
Jim
you're
Earl.
all alone in that little mobile office of yours. They probably
Yeah.
locked you in there, and they
Probably. Yeah.
have foxes and bears patrolling the outside just in case you try to escape.
Funniest thing, remember those old cola commercials with the polar bear and they're all sweet and cuddly and you can hug them?
Yeah.
You can't. That's not real, kids. So don't do that. You will get eaten. But I'm not in polar bear land, actually. That's a little more north and to the east of me, towards
Do you have grizzlies?
Manitoba. Oh, yeah. Yeah, grizzlies,
Oh,
black bear.
nice.
American marmot, which are really cute. They're really cute.
Marmots.
Yeah,
Yes.
scavenger.
Those are like groundhogs or woodchucks, right?
Well,
yes,
yeah, they're
they
in the
are.
rodent family, yes.
Yes. Well, that's funny because Jim, we have a marmot. I'll send it. I wish I could send it to you.
Yeah.
Let's
Well, you
see.
can't. Well, we also have a woodchuck outside, and they are related to each other. The woodchucks, marmots,
Mhm.
groundhogs.
It's just a beautiful animal, especially when it was cold. It was about -41 when I seen it, and its fur is just, you know how it puffs out to help
Yeah.
keep it warm. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So do we have another picture?
Yes, we do. You here. This is the was for the inventor of the Pop Tart. It's a Pop Tart. It's a toaster fire, which was a kind of.
We wouldn't know because you're not sharing it, Jim.
Yeah,
I'm not sharing it. Oh,
No.
what the
No.
hell? Okay, just a new share. Here we go. Wait. There. How's? Wait.
And
No.
what are you doing, Jim, to do the new share? How do you do that?
Oh, I don't have time for this, Martha.
Can't you explain to the people watching at home
Well, I think they know
how
it.
to
I think
share these
I think
things?
anybody
How come,
watch.
Martha's the only one that doesn't know?
I think anybody watching this is going, oh Jesus, what
Hey,
is he doing?
That looks good. You got a couple of Pop Tarts on fire. So what's the inspiration for this, my friend?
Oh,
For me?
did you know Pop-Tarts are highly flammable?
Did not.
Yes, they are. A Pop-Tart flame can approximately reach, they've done studies, interestingly enough, that the flames can reach as high as 6 feet from a toaster oven when you burn a Pop-Tart. So careful out there, kids.
Or 10 feet from your ass.
Yes.
I've never seen this. Is this is true?
Yes, that's true. That's a
Yuck,
true fact. As I was when I was researching Pop-Tarts and toaster ovens, I found that interesting tidbit.
Mhm.
I wish I had the study in front of me now, but perhaps I can post it somewhere for people watching at home.
Wow, if you
Yeah.
sure, we'll get the
Yeah.
link and we'll throw
Sure.
it in the notes. Okay. So did
That's all
Jim
made with magazine paper as well. Nothing is painted. It's all glue, and I use this glue stick from Italy. It's made of almond paste, I believe, and it smells
almond
really
paste.
good.
Mhm.
Just
Might
like the
even be
original,
edible.
just like the original Pop Tarts. It's all
Yeah,
glue,
it's all
magazine
glue
pieces.
and paper. Yeah, which this one actually has a cardboard. I use actual cardboard, which the Pop-Tarts also taste like cardboard to create this one. Yeah.
Shall I go on to the next one, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Oh wait. Resume share. Why did I? Okay. Screen
How
is
did you make the
paused.
toaster?
Uh, that's a silver. It's magazine paper. Either like a different shades of gray or silver and black.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
So is Jim going to do an obituary on your cooking? Is that why you made that? I hope not. I think you cook good, don't you? Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I don't eat Pop-Tarts anymore. I used to. I used to quite like the frosted ones, the
Mhm.
raspberry and strawberry, blueberry were good. One of my favorites, the brown sugar cinnamon frosted were delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, but not anymore. They're not good for you. Don't eat them at home.
Hmm.
Can you see the Gaston Glock picture? Am I
Yes.
sharing that?
Yes,
Okay.
this is Gaston Glock's portrait. He's the creator of Glock guns. Jim, why don't you
Well, I think you said it all.
introduce Gaston? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gaston. Yeah, he invented the Glock and started marketing it in the I think early '80s. I think.
The
Yeah.
Glock.
hmm
How old was he when he died? He was
99, I
in his,
think.
yeah,
94, 99.
and he had a wife
Bird
about,
flu, COVID. How did he
oh,
die? Did he Glock himself?
He was glocked like 6 times in the head with a rubber mallet about 20 years before that
Oh
by
wow.
his ex-business partner.
Okay.
No, but yeah, he divorced his wife longtime wife and married a woman, I think it was 50 years his junior.
Mm.
And I say, hey, okay.
So what's the why this? What is going on with here? Why make a picture of the Glock man? Excuse me.
Well, this
Well,
is, yeah,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
dear. No, you go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going, well, he's a man who represents violence and guns. And so what perfect, I can't think of a more apt illustration than somebody with a gun for a head.
Mhm.
That's pretty much all
Titled
his,
the Glock head. Yes.
what his life was, basically. What his life turned out to be.
That's deep, Jim. That's very deep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's an actual Glock gun. That's a 10mm Glock. Most of the police force use them here in the United States of America.
Really?
Yeah.
Made in Austria?
That's right. From pressed nylon resin.
That's awesome. So, and these are all done by pictures, are they, Martha?
Yeah, the image came from a book. But most of all of the other paper came from magazines.
Mm-hmm. And I hope Jim finished reading that book before you cut it out.
I was happy to destroy it. Nobody should have a book filled with guns, glorifying guns. I'm not a gun fan.
Mm-hmm. No, I
I
hear
know
I think
you.
our country has way too many guns, and they're, they should be outlawed.
I'm
I
going to
agree.
agree with that. Rifles, not so much because we need them up north or up in the wilderness of Canada as protection.
From what?
Grizzlies, black bears.
Oh,
When was the last time you had to protect yourself from a grizzly with a gun?
Was 3 years ago. It took a run at me,
wow.
and I put my. Actually, can we take this picture off, Jim, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
Put up the
Yeah.
woodchuck.
Is it
Is
off now?
there another one?
Yeah, I sent you, Jim.
My
Oh.
my dog treed the bear up on the acreage in Prince George, and but she had bad hips. She was quite old, and the bear managed. Oh, I got to get in the picture here. Took his finger and flayed her in the belly. It didn't poke through, or else there would have been trouble. So she just needed stitching. But while that was happening, I was on the deck and I was throwing things at the bear who was in the tree. It came off the tree and it ran at me. And they say try to get as tall as you can. And so I had my elbows up, and then I hit the ground. And it did one of these where it comes at you and then turns and screws off. So very fortunate didn't get beaten up by the black bear. So
But
and my dog survived.
Did you use the gun at all?
No, I didn't have a gun out there. I had bear spray.
Oh.
Did I use the bear spray? No. I could have threw the can at the bear spray, but I couldn't find it. So anything I could grab, I was throwing.
So my question was, have you ever used a rifle to protect yourself from a grizzly?
No, but I've had the training to do that. My son hunts. I do not hunt. I figure, well, it's at the grocery store, so.
Yeah.
But we grew up on a farm too, so been there. And I mean, what about if there's a tomato ferret when you're out getting your tomatoes, Jim? You need to protect yourself.
I'll play him this broadcast and scare him off.
Okay. So is this a beaver or something else?
That's a marmot.
Oh, is this a marmot? Oh, okay.
That's a marmot. That's what the marmots of Maine look like.
Okay, pretty neat.
The woodchuck or groundhog.
Oh, and I can see
or a
the
whistle pig.
pattern.
Yeah.
So you put these together, so you have to find the hair, and then you put it pictures of hair, and then you put it together, eh?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Oh, I see
A
blonde.
lot of it's hair from different fashion magazines, models.
Penthouse.
Uh,
Old, old,
Well, it
old,
have to be an old one then. There's
old
no,
penthouses. Yeah.
Jim, I saved those for you. I didn't cut your magazines up.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
thanks.
Stop accusing me again of.
go. I like this, and I like the flowers and the lake, or the water behind it, the pond, the grass too.
Thanks. Yeah, that's for Groundhog Day. That's not for Jim's book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was just for fun.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I really
Thank you.
do. It looks great. Just let me go over here. I've written a few notes. Oh, sorry, that was Forrest. I really don't have much to say today because I'm up north, and my mind's not been in the game and what people are talking about now. I only know me, and sometimes I get cold. So
And well, you already brought up some subjects. You
oh
know.
well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, and what's on your radar? What's in your future here? You guys got your garden going?
Not yet. It's still too cold. We have to wait for I think the first full moon in May before
Full
we
moon.
plant anything.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure when that is, but yeah, we still have our temperatures down in the 30s and 40s at night. And
Oh wow.
well,
you can plant seed.
Sure, I
As long
started
as
a
it
whole
doesn't
bunch
rain
of
too much and rot the seed, you're good.
yeah, that's true. I threw some grass seed out today, but I did plant artichokes at the beginning of the year to plant, and they're not doing too well inside. I don't know if it's the lack of light or too much water, not enough water. It's very difficult.
Combination. Yeah.
Yeah,
My peppers I've got they haven't done well in maybe too much water, like you said, too much sun. I got a grow lamp on it. Maybe that's what's happened. I'm not
yeah,
sure. But I've got my tomatoes started. They're only about yay high, very, very small. And then I've got corn, sweet corn this year.
nice.
The peppers, which are not doing anything right now. The cayenne pepper's not doing anything right now. I don't know why. And I have one more item. It's not in front of me. I can't tell you what it is. Forgive me. Oh, I bought some it's called a melon, a watermelon melon. Oh, it's a melon. It's a little fruit that can replace apples in apple pie, like half of it. So I'm quite excited to try that this year, as well as watermelon. Even though
Nice.
we're in a drought, we're going to be in a drought this year. We've already got 30 fires going up here too, underneath the snow. Believe it or not, it's steaming still, and up to
Wow.
Tumbler Ridge in some areas because the fires live underground, over the winter. Just burning there, and then once the oxygen comes in, the snow covers, boom, everything's in flames. I suspect, Jim and Martha, you're going to get some Ontario fires this year as well.
Oh,
So
great.
I don't know if you need a particulate mask or anything, but I hope it's not as bad as last year. But they say these things, we're in El Nino, right? So that's 2 to 3 year progression before it changes. However, did you see the flooding in Arabia?
Yes,
In Dubai.
in Dubai,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. That was really something. A guy I know goes there, and he was saying it was just incredible. Never seen it. It was like was it a couple of years rain in in one day or something? And then there was another weather trouble spot Yeah, okay. I got to do my research. I apologize. What a host I am, eh?
It's a lot of sleazy looking Mercedes getting flood damage.
Hmm. They have a lot of Filipinos and people from India constructing the buildings, right? A lot of construction going on there. So tend to think that's the place where Filipinos go to die.
Hmm.
I don't know what to say to that.
That's a little deep, I know, but
Yeah.
there's been quite a few reports of immigrants not being treated correctly. Oh, geez, that sounds familiar. Hey?
Imagine that.
Yeah. So are you guys going to the border, the south border or the north border to stop the immigrants from coming in or
We'd like to go to the north border to escape.
well, you better hurry.
I welcome anybody coming across the border.
Me
Mhm.
too. The more the merrier. And we
Um,
need uh more interesting people in our country other than these you know.
Well, I'm sorry for invading your country and having you guys on then. I apologize. If that's the way you're going to be. You
What?
want more interesting people. My God.
No, you didn't. You'd never invaded.
Okay. Well, we did 1812, but that's a long story. No, actually, it was a short story. It didn't take much time, but I digress.
Yeah, this country needs more fresh blood, young blood. It's
Well,
just
didn't
a
we?
big, fat, doughy, decrepit population waiting to die.
Come
That's
Right.
to
what we are.
Maine.
I would love to do that. I actually would and maybe get I know who do you got? You got How far is New Jersey from Maine?
Oh, probably like 5 hours or so, 5 hour
How
drive.
how far is Florida from Maine?
Um, that would take you 24 hours at least to
Not
drive.
not far enough.
Yeah,
Florida to Maine is 24 hours?
drive. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You'd have to drive all the way down the East Coast. I've
Hmm.
done it a couple of times. It's not that bad.
Okay. No, I would love to come down to Maine and take a look and would you show me Martha Stewart's place?
Sure, we'd have to go up to Mount well, Acadia National Park. She lives up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a monument in Acadia National Park or a treasure,
She lives in an old mansion.
an
Uh,
old mansion.
yeah, I don't know. I forget if it was the Rockefellers or I forget.
It
But
wouldn't
it's
happen to be,
beautiful.
can I just ask, it's not Rockefeller, but Franklin Roosevelt's old place. Didn't he have something out in
Oh,
Maine
maybe it could be.
on an
Maybe you think of
island?
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt, maybe?
No,
I
no,
don't know.
no.
She had a couple of them, and I think I'm not sure if that was the one in Maine, but one of them was torn down so she could make a swimming pool in the
How,
foundation of
how
the
old
old
is
mansion.
how old is his um how old is her pool boy? That's actually what I want to know.
Hmm. That I do not know. I do not know.
Oh, okay.
Very personal question.
Well,
Perhaps you can ask her the next time she's on your show.
I would love that very much.
That would
Um,
be a good thing.
right. Sorry, we
Sure.
just got some breaking news, believe it or not. No, I can't find it.
Is Israel bombing us yet?
Uh, no, no, not yet. You have to sell them some more bombs because they're running out, right? So,
Sell them. We give them to them. We also give them the technology, and then they sell the technology to other countries. They
mhm.
make a profit off of what we give them.
I bet you Raytheon stocks are up now. Gold is up,
Yeah.
munition stock is up. I mean,
They're not
it.
Raytheon anymore. They're something like ETZ or XYZ.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
had
isn't it?
rebranded themselves.
I mean, there's nothing like a war economy. You make money that way. Hmm.
That's all we know.
Well, is it going to stop? Is it are we all going to be at peace one day, or do we have to wait for everybody to schwack each other, and then only the peaceful people will be left?
From what I've read about history, I think the only thing that will stop this current endless pattern of warfare and slaughter and genocide would be natural disasters and viruses.
Oh, viruses, you say?
And a complete breakdown of society as we know it, and maybe a few hundred years, if we're lucky, it rebuilds into something different. Because I don't see our governments and our societies giving a shit about stopping any of this anytime soon, or even trying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even give the pretense of caring or trying to stop it.
Well, with
anymore.
all this war, doesn't it make your job a little easier writing obituaries because there's so much, and then you can practice more? Not that you need to practice, my friend.
Well, it's kind of yeah. It's a little harder to do these obituaries because to get serious here, a lot of people died during the pandemic and are still dying because there's still a pandemic, and it's harder to make jokes about people dying, even if there are jokes about people who are annoying and who kind of deserved what they got.
Hey.
And so it's kind of hard to do
You're not
that.
talking about me, are you?
No, the world doesn't revolve around you, okay, Walter? I'm sorry, but yeah, it's kind of hard. But I try.
Let me just share this with you. Forrest put it in the chat. I'm not going to play the sound on this. So this is Max, the guy who lit himself on fire, and he was singing about starting a revolution. So this guy says he was all kinds of crazy and claimed Peter Thiel started a bank run, and all the recent presidents were working together, including Trump and Hillary. Rest in peace, Max. So sorry to switch gears here, but there was a lot of concern that this guy was actually a Trump supporter, and he was they were calling him right wing. But there's a picture of him with a Jesus, Forrest. What was the guy's name? He was Max was in a Bernie Sanders shirt, but he was with
Newt Gingrich, I think.
Newt Gingrich. Yes, there's a photo of him there. So,
Oh, the Bernie Gingrich alliance.
well, that's true too.
I think it just burned itself up.
But yeah, so there was just a little while ago too, an army fellow burnt himself too over the war.
Yeah,
Oh.
over Palestine, yes.
There was
Right.
also another burning of an elderly couple getting evicted from their home, and they had no place to go. And when the police showed up at their home, the elderly man burned himself alive.
Oh man, that is the thing. So there was a guy. So in Canada, you don't have to burn yourself because you can legally kill yourself. It's called MAID. And I was just reading about a quadriplegic fellow who's still, was doing good, but he was in the hospital, got a big bed sore, and it was so painful. He applied for MAID, which I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it means assisted suicide. And that's what he's going to do. There was an old fellow back east. He lost his place because the rents got too high, and he applied for MAID too. So I'm having a problem with some of this. Oh, fuck it. I'll just apply for MAID. It'll
Sounds
be
like
okay.
fucking death panels.
Well, it's not a death panel. It's an approval panel.
No, eviction is a death panel. Landlords are part of a death panel.
Yes. I
Asset
agree.
management is a death panel.
That's why all my money is in BlackRock. No, I have no money to give them. So,
It's not called BlackRock anymore either. It's something
oh, it's
else.
Whitewater?
It's called Good Feelings in Cork.
Mhm.
That it is, but that's inescapable, especially as I age and get older too, and some of my friends, because lots of us don't have the retirement capital really. Like our pensions aren't going to cover it, and the rents are going up. So we brought in 1.2 million immigrants last year into Canada, which is the equivalent of 11 million into the United States. So at 11 million, you would have growing pains. We're having growing pains and infrastructure problems right now. Probably people are getting bored of me saying this, but so my doctor is leaving his practice to look after his parents, which is noble. He's an Asian fellow, which is okay. And so a firm I've been with, the practice firm I've been with since 1971, I have to leave and find a new doctor. They have 3 or 4 other doctors in the building that I've seen, but all of his files and everything are not going to be there anymore at the doctor's office. You know, the files on all the patients. So, which I found a little bit unfair, to be honest, and partly has to do with immigration. We have so many people looking for doctors, and there we are, you know.
Does it have to do with immigration, or does it have to do with so many people with new health problems after they've obliterated their immune systems from COVID?
And the fact that nobody pays taxes. Nobody should be paying their taxes, pay taxes. The rich don't pay their fair share of taxes. And you have societies, Western governments, who their priorities are askew. They
Mhm.
don't care about humanitarian priorities.
Well,
It's all it has to do with military,
right.
giving tax breaks to the rich, et cetera, et cetera.
No, I agree with you on that. The new budget for Canada came down, and they've got extra taxes for the rich people. And now we have the old government people saying, oh, liberals are going to lose because they've increased taxes on the rich. So you get that rhetoric as well, right? The drum
Mhm.
beats. And it's the people who are rich and getting paid, they complain about paying taxes. We all have to pay taxes. And the liberal government's increased it, which is kind of noble, but they've spent a lot of money too. Um, that went for naught on things, right? So
Well,
the
depends on
G
what things.
yeah, well, uh, actually a different story, but and it's a long story. But from Bombardier payouts to graft and corruption with some of the employees in the government. We've had people take COVID payments. The government, Canada, gave out COVID payments to people who needed them. They just gave them out. All you had to do was apply for it, right? However, if you had a job, you weren't supposed to have it. So the people at the revenue, we call it the CRA, I think there was almost 30 of them got caught accepting payments from COVID while they were working, which is illegal, right?
Mhm.
They were supposed to be for people who were out of jobs and stuff. And it's that kind of mentality that drives things. I like the United States approach. Well, actually, not really. Is that I think you're not given enough money again to the IRS, and that they're now going after people who make less money than the rich guys because it costs so much money to take the rich guys to court. You should
Well,
maybe
that's
be like South Korea and just throw them into jail.
uh, I don't understand what you just meant, but that's kind of like the conservatives' argument against funding the IRS.
Right.
Because the logic behind funding the IRS and increasing funding is that there are a bunch of people retiring from the IRS, and you have to replace them, and you have to attract them with decent salaries. And B, there are a ton of rich people and corporations who are refusing to pay their taxes, and
Right.
so
But
we
no,
need trained professionals going after them. It takes a lot of money and a lot of lawyers to go after people like Donald Trump.
there you go. And the auditors don't have the money to take the larger guys to court, right?
Yeah.
Or the department won't fund that.
Well,
Which
are you
is,
talking about the IRS or your
yes, no, the IRS. That's it
well,
was according to a story I read.
well, that's the old story.
Yeah,
The new story is that they're concentrating on rich people and not wasting their time on
the little guys.
poor people.
Oh, okay.
However, that waits to be seen.
Mhm.
In theory, it would be a much, you know, I have nothing against funding something to make it work. And
Right.
that goes for the FDA and the Highway
Post
Commission,
office.
Post Office,
Post
all these other
office.
things that we've underfunded, so we can conservatives, Republicans can have the excuse to call for to privatize them and
Mhm.
turn them over to UPS and Amazon.
The Bank of Amazon. You could do. This is Max. That picture we were talking about. Here we go. No. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. And will it change? No, did not. Sorry, I wanted to bring up the picture, but now I have sharing problems. How come? Why is that, Jim?
Hmm? What?
Why can't I share now? Oh well.
Well, you have to push the little green button at the bottom of your viewer there. Push the green button. Get the green button. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there
Okay.
it is.
All right. Well, that's that. Oh, I see Rodrigo out in our Discord. For people who want to get in touch with the show or keep discussing things, join our Discord. You'll find a link in the show notes. I find I don't say that enough or advertise the fact. So we'd like to see some new people. We're just kind of waiting on Lexi. And she's not here. So she was going to give us a Diddy update. I thought you guys would be interested in that
He
very
did he?
much. Yeah. What are your thoughts on P. Diddy? Did he? Did he do it?
I don't care.
I don't care either, to be honest.
These kids and their new music, I don't get it.
Well,
You know,
did you
give
see
me.
his kids wrapped up in handcuffs?
Oh, I like that. That was funny.
Okay.
That was amusing. Well, you know, I could write a tune to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I hear you on that. Okay, well, I wanna do you have anything else you want to discuss or are we good?
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
When?
That's it. Uh, in the next 5 years, I think.
5. Oi.
Got 5 years. Got 5 years. Make amends. Try to
Make a man.
go to the beach a couple of times. Maybe go out and eat. Enjoy life.
Make a man. Man of yourself. No. Martha, how are you doing? What's your future hold? Besides gardening,
Uh,
hopefully.
well, same old, same old.
Is your farmer's market going to be up and about?
Oh, yes. We're looking forward to that. That's we're gonna pick up our seedlings that we couldn't grow at home on our own.
Yeah, that's what I
We
do too.
usually
Yeah.
get our tomato plants there.
Did
And
you did you
yeah.
hear about that in Oregon where you can't use groundwater to water your plants unless you pay for a permit?
Wow.
Yeah.
I would hope that, it would be nice if we could all collect the rainwater from to rain barrels and use
That's
that.
legal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Just the
great
groundwater.
idea.
Yeah. No, me
Um,
too. Yeah, I have rain barrels around the house. So that's good. So I just want to thank you guys very much. Very excited to see you. And I hope you
Thank you,
guys,
Wally.
I hope we can share some time real soon. And I hope you have a good one.
Okay, thanks a lot,
Thanks,
Wall.
you too.
Thank you. You guys just hang on for a second. Let me close out the show. Don't forget to subscribe.
Are we off now?
No, we will be.
Can anyone see
Sure.
this?
What about now?
Can you see this?
Just got one more here. Oh,
Cowards. Cowards.
hmm.
You wouldn't let your viewers see this because you're too afraid. You're afraid of the truth, Walter.
Well, you're on. So, oh, look at that, eh? Koalas for everybody. Sounds good.